Hi, hello people, ladies and gents, YouTube. Boxing Day. Oh, glad Christmas is over. Little bit of a Grinch. Excuse me there. Yeah, had planned just to do a whole day in the woods, and was going to have a solo wander. Was going to do a bit more work on my chair and try and build another sort of bed sort of camp type thing. Anyway, long story cut short, wife had to go to work a lot earlier than she was asked to. It's fair enough. Hence, I have to leave my dogs. If I want to do my original plan, I have to leave my 2 dogs in the house on their own. So that sort of got binned. I ain't doing that. They've had a good 2-hour long walk. They're both exhausted now, sat by a riverbank. I've been out and had a brew, just chilled out a little bit, and just sat there thinking for ages and ages. Anyway, inspiration, that's another thing. Unbeknownst to anybody, this will be a how to make something video. I will do like the stop, and at some point I will tell you quite quickly when just to go fast forward to the end if you just want to see what the end products look like. This one will be short because it's a very simple job, and I just sat there and I thought, I'll tell you what, I'll get back and do that now, because inspiration, I just, let's just gonna do this. Yeah, I'm doing some stuff for other people, but I just thought, let's get this done now. So, long story cut short, waterproofing your Bergen, okay? That's what I've traditionally done, and you'll see me do a video of that. Inside there is all my kit. Doesn't matter what your Bergen, these things will hold off water for a bit, but not for very long. So everybody, no matter what Bergen you got, all the zip up ones, your Bergas, rocks, whatever your particular fetish for your Bergen is, it does need to have a waterproof bag for it. This one is separate to the Bergen and can come up and down. And obviously at the sides, I've sewed up an IPK. It's just some reasonably cheap waterproof material, and that goes in the other side. So even your pockets need to have the stuff waterproofed, and there's all my bits and bobs in there. If the Bergen gets soaking wet, that's another layer of protection. Obviously I've got 2 Bergens, love the old infantry Bergen, but had a nice little result from somebody on YouTube, and I've got a snug pack 100 litre Bergen. Yeah, 100 litres. And it's a lot lighter than that, and I find, stupidly enough, this is one of the most comfortable Bergens I've ever worn. So in all honesty, I will be sort of this year using this a lot more. I like to get away from all the DPM army stuff. Subdued colours is fine for me, but the walking from A to B, I don't like to look like, you know, a soldier or wearing a military kit. If anybody does, that's fine. So quite quickly, what I'm going to do then, I need to have a waterproof liner for that. The easiest thing to do is take that and the side patches and just put them in there. But that just means all the changing over, and I actually think I can upgrade this, ladies and gentlemen. So, sort of last Wednesday, I had a little result. I got an army surplus stall, Wednesdays and Saturday in my town. Good guy. Like I say, I had a Gore-Tex hoop bivvy bag off him for a tenner. I did say, like, the next time I saw him, I took a bit of advantage in that. But last Wednesday, I popped by and he said, called me in as he does, like. And what we have here is, it's a brand new, it's never been used, never been washed, never been sort of cut. Is a British Army Gore-Tex bivvy bag. Now, bivvy bags are really essential. I use the American one because it has a zip down the side, so I can get in and out very, very quickly. I don't like it the way you have to shuffle yourself down. They're not, for me, what I particularly like. But ladies and gents, as I walked away, I thought, no, I don't need a bivvy bag. The last one of these I shot away to somebody as a little gift and that. But I thought, blimey, what we're looking at is a completely waterproof bag. Okay, it's a bit longer than I need, but there's 2 things that I found the last few times I've camped out. The stuff that I take off, i.e. my jacket and me warm clothes, where do I put them? In the top of the Bergen and that. So out of this, I'm going to get a 2 for 1. I've got a completely enclosed sack here that can just drop straight in. So there's an actual fold line and stitch line here that's taped. I'm going to come up. And you don't have to be flashing all fancy. I haven't done hardly any preparation for that. So there's the 4 foot mark. Yeah, I think that's more than enough. And strangely enough, well, I don't know if you can see it, there's a stitch line there. That's 4 foot, so I'm going to take it beyond that stitch line and just cut it across there. I'm then going to hem it round, and in the top of this, because this will now be separate, the draw cord, I'm going to sew a loop around it so I can then tighten it up, so it will do that. So I'm going to take a Gore-Tex bivvy bag, Heresy, you might say, cutting up a Gore-Tex BB bag, but when you think I got this for £15 off him, and what he did, well, it was 20 quid. Got myself an Orgie as well for a fiver, so it was 20 quid, so nice little result there. Especially with an Orgies, because when you send off from one, you ain't got a clue what actual size they are. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make myself a stuff sack for this Bergen. It's going to be at the very top end. I've seen some of them online, ridiculous prices. This will have a dual function as well. One, that will keep all my kit inside the Bergen. With this part that's now separated, I will sew it down the bottom, okay, and this will be used and carried by me. So when I take my boots off at night, my jacket off, and anything else I'm wearing, it will be shoved into this part. Yeah, this will be something else I carry. It will be shoved inside of there. Everything will be going there, and then it will be folded over and over to where it needs to be, so it doesn't need to be any particular size. That will then keep my kit dry. Obviously it's going to be near to my sleeping bag and frost free. On the old weekend, the Christmas weekend, I was finding out I left my jacket and my warm jacket underneath that I wore in the daytime on that little blue chair, and when I woke up it was full of frost. So let's have I'm going to get a 2-for-1 out of this. A really lovely, very effective Bergen waterproof liner and something else for my kit, all out of 15 quid. And it ain't too very hard to do. What I will do is just measure down maybe 5 inches, then cut it down there very, very carefully to make sure it's cylindrical, either the right height all the way around, fold it over and sew it. Transferring this piece of cord and the buckle into that top end. So when I come back, I'll do it. Also, what I will say is, you've seen me do a river crossing once. Now if I've got that, and that will, every piece of kit in the Bergen will fit into that, I'll be able to tie it up at the top and then just swim across the river with that. As Barry was saying, I used to have one of these in the army that I made up and sewed up myself, and that's what he used very effectively for when he had to cross the river. Not everybody's going to have to cross rivers, but if you do, it's nice to get to the other side with some dry kit and you're in good order. So I'm just going to do a cut, and I'm just going to do some simple sewing, and I'll come back to you. Right, ladies and gents, Ms. Tightwad just holding the camera there. All I've done is cut the bag where I said it would do, just at that stitch line there. It's quite nice because I've reinforced it, and that will not come undone. Now I've had to leave a piece where I'm going to put the draw cord through. As you can see, I've just sewed it simply round, and it's gone quite nice because it's gone onto the actual line where they obviously put the reinforcing on the waterproof strip in there. So ladies and gents, it's just got a short tube all the way around the top there. If you can just pull out a little bit, and don't dream of trying to put the draw cord inside as you're sewing it, because you'll just sew the draw cord. Get a pin. Ideally I could have done with one a bit bigger than this, but there's the 2 holes where the cord's going to come out of. I say it's properly reinforced down there a few times, because that will be a stress point. And you get the metal pin, okay, it's closed up. This is the easiest and quickest way to get a draw cord all the way through. Just slide it down, pull. A bit tedious, take about 5 minutes to do, but I've seen people try and sew it round in a loop with a cord inside, and at some point you'll sew your cord. So other than that, that's just simple. Anybody doing a drawstring bag, literally that's how you're going to do it. You sew your loop round, and then with a pin, bigger the pin it's easier. And as you can see, as this was a round thing, every now and again I put a dart in it just to take up the material slack, if that makes sense. So I'll go and find my pin and just keep pushing it all the way around until it goes all the way around and comes out the other side, and I've got 2 bits of cord hanging through. And once I've done that, I'll thread that bit through there, and then that's me pulling draw cord to pull the whole thing tight. So hopefully that's made sense to everybody. Right, ladies and gentlemen, half hour sewing, mucking about. The longest part, I suppose, was threading that cord back through there with the old safety pin. Right, one thing I'm going to cover first, a 2-for-1. As I said, I've got a Bergen liner and a way of floating that Bergen across the river. Also, when I was on the that weekend there, frost covered me kit the next morning. Don't particularly want that to happen. So I'm going to make myself a little sleep kit bag, boot bag, whatever you want to call it. There's the top half of the bivvy bag, as we can see. That's all in shot. Obviously turned it inside out, sewed it up and down the bottom of times. Certainly waterproof, but you know, I wouldn't immerse that in water. But this is just to keep me kit dry from the rain, if anything comes in through a basher or a poncho. And a little thought there, if needed, if I was ever caught out, I could stick them, you know, the bottom of my sleeping bag in there and use that to sort of cover my legs up if they're sticking out. But what I wanted with the top half of that is something I can put my kit in that we all take off at night, which will probably be the warm jacket, your outer jacket, pair of boots. So here we go, actions speak louder than words. Pair of boots, but I don't want to be absolutely soaked with frost the next day. Everything's a learning experience. As a soldier, just crack on with it, but as a bushcrafter I don't need to. As I say, de-kitting at night, ready to get into my old basher. Don't want this kit to be caught by the rain if there's any overnight, and don't see why she woke up covered in frost. And again, it's all in one piece. If I needed to grab it quickly and throw it into the Bergen and bug out, I could do. And there's my smock all rolled up. I am going to sew a piece of elastic on that, but just as a closer, it just needs to be really, really simple. There's my kit, rolled over. Once, twice, 3 times. So hopefully that's got 4 layers of Gore-Tex around that. If that gets rained on now, or any frost, my kit's going to be protected. And obviously when I need it out in the morning, job done, nice, dry. It's still going to be cold, but it's not going to be covered in frost as it was on one of them mornings. So ladies and gents, that'll pack up nice and small. I'll actually roll it up inside my sleeping mat. Hopefully that's in shot. So that's probably where that's going to go, or thrown at the bottom of my sleeping bag. But literally, all your nighttime kit in there, fold it over, and roll it. There, I may sew an elastic band so I can just pull it all round. You know, just a normal piece of, you know, 25mm elastic just to keep that closed down. So yeah, probably making myself a bit of a pillow there as well. So is maybe that's 3 for 1. But that's all my kit for the next day. That's going to be nice and dry. So I'll cover that one and I'll come back. Right, what I call my boot bag covered. Now, reason why I wanted to do this, and you can see how tall the Bergen is and how tall that is. Should I need to cross a river, this is going to go into this Bergen, which we'll come on to in a minute, but just to show you that the side pouches are emptied into the bottom with your boots, your clothing that you've got on, okay? You've been probably down to your skiddies. I've done a sort of a river crossing video when people were doing that ASL thing. And then the Bergen, as you can see, will fit inside this Gore-Tex bag. It is then going to be cinched all the way tight, grabbed at the top. Old soldiers used to know what I mean, because we used to do this with our ponchos. So it's like that, turned over, and then that cord wrapped round and wrapped round and wrapped round again. And all your kit, okay, is going to be inside that bag. It's going to be waterproof, and you can use that as a flotation aid to swim across the Bergen. I don't see myself doing this many times. However, me or you may come to a time where, you know, I'm out trekking somewhere and I've got no option to cross a river that would need swimming across rather than paddling across. But even if I'm paddling across one, it's done at all times to pack up your Bergens. I've seen on a YouTube video there, one bloke, he lost his boots when he was crossing the river and had a bad time trekking out. But anyway, ladies and gents, the original purpose of this, and we are talking for 15 quid, can't go wrong, let your eyes be your guide. That's the old Cockney market trader kicking in there. There I have actually got, well, a sort of, it's turned out to be probably, if I'm 6 foot, that's 5 foot, Bergen liner. So this is a new Bergen that I'm going to be using more and more this year. Already done a few mods on it, which I may or may not cover in another video. But literally, grab hold of the bottom, stuff it in there, right in there. I'll teach you what it is on this one. And here we have everything inside of that is now going into a Gore-Tex waterproof lined Bergen liner. Made myself, You can get all these bags for the canoe shoes, and they roll up and they clip at the top. And look at them, they're quite expensive. So with me boot and gear bag there and the Bergen liner, optional, I can use this as a flotation aid to get across rivers if I need to. Don't plan on doing that too many trips, to be honest. Did it in my younger formative years, but and obviously it will cinch right up as and when you need it. And should I think the weather's going to be that bad, again, loads of cordage on there, just to wind it round, fold it over and push it down. I'm not going to load the Bergen up, we've all seen what a Bergen loaded up looks like. The side pouches will be exactly the same. I've got some nice sort of 2 ounce green material. I will do a bag not unlike the one you saw earlier on, only if that's 15 inches, I will do the bag, the tallness of the bag, about 28 inches, you know, as tall as that and 2/3, so when I have it, I won't put a cinch in it, don't really need it. I'll be able to roll the top down, roll it down and then push it down the side where the Bergen is, yeah? So hence it's closed in. These are only designed, one, if your Bergen goes in the water, 2, you can get your Bergen out or keep your stuff dry, and as you're walking from A to B, or it's stuck out somewhere, gets caught, you know, in the rain, it's at the edge of your basher, the Bergen material itself will get wet, but anything inside, the side pockets and the main pockets, and not to forget in the top pocket, so I'll make one for that as well, will be dry. I have done a how to make them ones on a previous video. It's called IPK if anybody's interested and you want to search back. But what I will say is I'm going to do a couple more of these videos. I think I had 150 people view the first one, Keith's one, and 75 people commented, and all very positive comments, and please really like it and show us what you're doing and how you do it and as you do it. But they're not bushcrafting. I'm clearly going to label this up so people who you know, don't want to view this stuff don't have to do it. But as I found out with the feedback, it is there's enough people interested to make me more than worth my while doing them, and a lot of people are going, actually I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and that's a good idea, and I wished I thought of that. I get that off all the videos that I watch from you, so what goes around comes around, people. But there we go, 15 quid. I've got a boot bag, I'll call it, and a very, very long and extremely capable waterproof Bergen liner. So on that, I'll say take care. If I don't see anybody or I don't do another video before the new year, back to work tomorrow. I'd like to wish everybody a happy Christmas. Well, Christmas is nearly over now, but you know, a prosperous and safe new year, safe and healthy new year. If you're safe and you're healthy, everything else, well, it can be achieved. So take care, everybody, and thanks for watching.